Welcome to my content creator. So today I just want to show you a few tips to use with text in the content creator. And I'm using Goodnotes on a MacBook. And every device you use or every app or program that you use might have different features and might operate just a little bit differently. But this will at least give you an idea of how it can be used and maybe some different features that you can take advantage of. So up here on the top is the toolbar, and this little pen icon is it's the selection for either the read or write feature. So when it's not highlighted, you are in read mode, which allows the hyperlinks to work. When you're in write mode, then that is when you can edit, add text, and different things like that, and the links won't work. So you want to make sure that you're in the right mode. So read is where the hyperlinks are going to work. Write is where you can make edits or add things to the actual planner. So just for example, I'm in read mode. If I click on content ideas, it's going to take me to the content idea page. And then if I want to go back to June, I can click on June up here at the top. So that is how you navigate the planner, is just making sure that you're in the right mode, which read mode, hyperlinks work. Write mode is where you can make edits and add text. So I am going to go to June 10th, which is tomorrow. And this is where I can add any information that I want to add about a post I'm going to make. And then the checklist is where you can have like a daily checklist. And the nice thing about this is if you have things that you want to do every single day, you have repetitive things that you just want to be able to, check off in the morning, whether it's 3, 5 things or a whole list, you can just copy and paste those things. And you could also add to them. So, for example, if every day I wanted to, well, let's see, let me first show you. So I'm going to click on write mode, click on the text option here, and then I'm going to make a text box. Now, for the text feature, you can change the font here, you can change the text size here, and you can change the orientation. So you have left, center, and right, and then the spacing. So this is how you can adjust the spacing and the font size to, allow it to align with these lines if you want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So I'm just going to adjust it a little bit, and I can adjust it after I actually type. So I'm going to increase the font a little bit, and I'm going to change the font. And then I'm going to type. So say every morning I want to read for 20 minutes. Now you can see that you can't see all of it, and that just means that you just need to make some adjustments. So when I adjust the spacing, it will allow for it to be seen. And it's just getting used to, the right size. Now, if you want to adjust the font size, you have to select it all, adjust the font size. And then once you kind of find a font size and the spacing that you want, I'll show you a couple of things. So let me just put a couple items in here. You want to journal, you want to check your DMs. Let's see what else. Maybe make sure you drink your water. I'm just trying to think of some. So to select all the text, if you're on a Mac, it's Command A. If you're on a PC, it'd be Control A. Now, once it's selected, I can go up here and I can change the font size. If you like the font size, you can leave that. You can go to the orientation and adjust the automatic spacing. And here, like once you get the spacing where you want it, this is where you can basically create a template for your checklist that can be used every day. So there you can do one of two things. Up here in your tools, this lasso is how you select something. And when you draw a lasso, you don't have to draw all the way around it, just any section of what you're trying to select. So now I've created a circle that is selecting my text box. And if I click on it, I now have another menu. So I can cut, I can copy, I can delete, arrange it to be front, or send it to the front or send it to the back, because this kind of works in layers. This isn't really important right now. Resize it. I can also resize the text box using the lasso selection. You could change the color. You could take a screenshot and add element. Elements are basically like a sticker, and it can be saved and reused wherever you want it and as many times as you want. So I'm going to add an element, and then I'm going to create a new collection. And this new collection, I'm going to call it checklist. And then I'm going to hit create. Now, so this is now a element, which is like a sticker, and it's going to keep the font, the spacing, and the size all consistent. This can be changed or edited at any point. So now I'm going to go back to my read mode, click on June. Now, if I want to go to the next day, June 11th, I'm going to click on the checklist and then back up to my toolbar, click on the write mode, and this little star is your elements. So I'm going to click on the element, and then if I just click on it again, now I have all of my different elements. So this first one is going to be my checklist, and it tells me up here. If I click on this checklist that I just created, now I can just move it right into place. If I go back to my text box option up here at the top, I can jump right into my text box and I can add things to it. And it keeps the same format. So that is a very handy tool. You can do the same thing, like say you had a different checklist for weekdays versus weekends. You could create separate elements and be able to just paste those right on the right day. You can create an element for your weekly checklist. So here's your weekly. If I go back to my main calendar, and here's my weekly over here on the left-hand side. If I click on weekly, it'll take me to the week. Up here at the top is checklist. I could create basically the same thing, but create a different weekly checklist that I want to do every week. I can do the same thing for my monthly checklist. So if I go back to June, up here at the top, I have checklist, and I can create an element that is my monthly checklist that I want to make sure that I do. So just creating elements makes it a little bit faster to just be able to drop those in the right places that you want. Keeps the format, keeps the spacing, and kind of keeps it consistent. You can change those items at any time because it is an editable text box, but it just makes it faster to be able to dump that in there, and it keeps the format. So I hope you find that tip helpful. And like I said, it depends on your app and the device that you're using. The options and functionality might be just a little bit different, but at least gives you an option of what's available. Thanks for watching.